Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. It's a froggy morning this morning here in the Ozarks. It's not too bad, but some fog come in, has settled in. It rained, drizzly rain most of the day yesterday, kind of off and on, and so now we've got some fog. Another day in the big theater play that we are watching right before our eyes. This may mean nothing. A lot of times I don't know if a lot would be the right word, but sometimes it means nothing. There are numerous people online that I occasionally follow that usually produce some pretty good insight and intel. And these are not like, anti-Trump kind of people or anything. They produce some pretty good intel. And their general gut feeling is, at least from what I have ascertained, reading some of their posts, watching some of their content over the last week or so, they can't pinpoint what's going on, but they think something is in the works. Something big, something bad. There's a lot of federal and state agencies doing drills right now. Nothing big, just, emergency operations, continuity type planning, that kind of stuff. Maybe that's nothing. I know, working in sort of that kind of field, that, every so often everyone does it. I get that. But there's just a lot of strange things going on. And the theater that is being portrayed, whether it be in the mainstream news or social media, alternative news sources, because it's all getting to be the same, it's chaotic. And typically when things are chaotic at this level, something's going on behind the scenes that we don't know about, and it's probably not that good. So we're still dealing with the teeter-tottering of events, okay? It's been in the news the last few days that Zelensky and Putin are coming to a meeting together to try to figure this out with the war there in Ukraine. They've agreed to meet in Turkey, both of them, and this was being put pressure on Putin by the Europeans, by Donald Trump, that listen, this is your last chance. You come to this meeting and you work this out, or we're not going to help facilitate any more negotiations, and we're going to throw everything in behind Ukraine. That's the threat. Russia said, don't threaten us, basically, and then now it's been announced that Putin is not going to attend that meeting. He's going to send some underling to go there, and that he will not attend, and that Russia has said that they believe that this is all theater, that this whole meeting is all theater. So is Russia calling the United States and Europe's bluff, or is it not a bluff? I mean, time will tell, obviously, but there's that. That's just this back and forth thing. It was announced Monday that there was this big trade deal with China worked out, when in fact there's not any trade deal that's been worked out. There was just a cooling off period for 90 days between the two countries when it comes to tariffs. Basically, we were left with what we started off with. We didn't really win too much. I mean, for the most part, we're close to the levels we were before the whole tariff trade war. So who knows? I mean, China and many American, not all liberal, but many American sources are stating that this is a win for China. China didn't start this trade war. China at no point ever demanded, requested, or anything, any type of intervention or any type of negotiations. The United States was doing that after Trump started this, and then they go and they meet, and it gets basically back down to the original levels. So they're saying it's a win for China. And then after this, it was announced yesterday afternoon that tariffs on cheap items coming from China, things that you would buy on Temu and other online websites, the cheap junk that we do talk about, that the tariffs on that stuff will go back up to 120%. So that stuff's going to have high tariffs. It's not that we need that stuff. Most people don't need that stuff, but it will affect the economy in some way. The whole Israeli thing, this one I think is still a really big one, and it's while it has grown legs and it's certainly being talked about, I'm surprised it's not quite as big a news as everyone's acting like. Israel hasn't responded a whole lot. I mean, they have, but not a whole lot. It just seems really strange. And then Trump has gone to Saudi Arabia after, receiving this $400 million luxury jet from Qatar, a country that harbors known terrorists, receiving this big luxury jet after telling the American people, listen, you don't need to have 15, 20 baby dolls and stuff for your children. Just, you need to suffer, and one or two is good enough. Then he gets a fancy luxury jet. That's not setting well with the American people. In fact, even Trump supporting conservatives, it's not setting well with them. Plus the security risks. Plus it's, gray areas. Is it unconstitutional? It seems to be. But we're now all of a sudden really buddying up to the Middle East. Now, a lot of people are okay with not having that close ties with Israel and kind of cutting them off and stuff. But does that mean we have to turn around and go be buddies with Middle Eastern countries? Saying that he's going to meet personally with the head of Syria. The show that's going on in Saudi Arabia with his arrival, they acting like the king has come home to visit, kind of thing. The theater is crazy right now. And who knows how this is going to play out? I don't know. You don't know. I mean, we all have our opinions, but we don't know. And for right now, everything has been so just off the charts, unpredictable, that it's a crapshoot at this point of what actually is going on and what might happen. But the general consensus seems to be that something much bigger is being developed in the background. Some type of plan. Is it going to be violent, like an attack or something? Is it going to be shocking, like this major shifting of powers or shifting of financial currencies and stuff? Everything really is focused right now on money, making profit, getting rich, trade, all this kind of stuff. And there's just such a heavy focus on that. Trump is in Saudi Arabia now. He's there with Elon Musk, the head of ChatGPT, several other AI executives, and BlackRock, and all those. They're all there with him. So those are, this isn't just diplomatic between two nations. All of the basically the owners, the big owners, all went with him also. So it's all about money. It's all about advancing the world, not just the United States, the world, into a new tomorrow, right? The left may call it the Great Reset or Agenda 2030. Trump calls it the Golden Era. It's constantly getting relabeled and repackaged. It used to be Agenda 21. It's always something different in name, but not different in the ending purpose of it. And so, we've got all of those people meeting with Saudi Arabia. And you got to realize Saudi Arabia is big deep into all this. They're in the midst right now of building that, what's it called, the Line, that city that's like just a big wall, looks like the Wall of China. I just watched a video a couple of weeks ago of it. It's they're currently building this thing, and it's going to be this huge smart city in the middle of the desert, where everyone lives in their little cubicles, and they're deep into this. And so here we've got Trump and Musk and OpenAI and BlackRock and, you know, all of these big executives from these very, very powerful, controlling, you know, companies are all there with him. And then we're gonna go talk to Syria, and then we're gonna do all this stuff, and we keep hearing, oh, it's gonna be billions, it's gonna be trillions of trade, because that's the most important thing is making money, right? At some point, you know, something's probably gonna pop off. It's interesting, you know. It was just weeks, months, a few years, you know, all these terrorists and all these threats here and danger here. You know, we were hearing constantly from Homeland Security, threat, danger. Now it's like, oh, no, these people are all friends. You know, we're normalizing relationships with Al-Qaeda and the Syria and all their terrorists and Gaza and the Houthis and all these people. They're all good people now because we're going to do business with them. You know, yesterday they were trying to blow our ships up and, you know, kill us and cause, you know, red alert threats all over the world. But now we're going to do business with them and everything's going to be fine. We're going to trust them, and the world's going to be this big kumbaya, sitting around a campfire hugging each other thing. Like I said yesterday, if all this stuff were true, do you not realize how quick the transition happened? And I know everyone, well, it's because Trump's such a great guy. The Bible talks about someone that came in and brought peace to the world. Wasn't a great guy, okay? I'm not saying that that's who Trump is. But you don't just switch gears this rapidly without something else going on. We need to start preparing and bracing ourselves, because it's you don't take decades and centuries of a system that has gone a certain direction and make such a very hard right turn without a lot of problems. It's never been done before in history. It's never been. There's never been a changing of world powers without bloodshed. It's never been done. And so either that day is coming soon, or there is something much more nefarious happening behind the scenes. Because it just doesn't work this way, folks. It never has. And while Trump may be really great at a lot of things, he's not that good. I mean, he's not like, you know, all powerful, that kind of good, right? Doesn't make any sense. And so that's why a lot of these folks that I follow and different ones, other people are sending stuff to me from people that I don't necessarily follow. Something else is going on behind the scenes. While we may not be able to pinpoint it, we can be pretty confident that it's not a good thing, and that we need to start preparing ourselves. Take this moment of reprieve to go out and stock up and just get things ready, because it's not real likely that the level of comfort and peace that we've been experiencing will continue. So just get ready for it, folks. It's crazy. It's chaotic. It's not normal. It's not natural. And we need to be readying ourselves for it. Get your houses in order and prepare mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.